Do you need a board of directors for an LLC? Well, let's explore that. Let's talk a little bit about corporate structure versus an LLC taxed as a company. So there's three things I want to talk about. Number one, exploring the LLC management option, because most LLCs have a management and then a member. Second thing then let's talk about are the benefits of a board and how you'd use it if you did use it in an LLC, and what that member does versus what the manager does. That's still going to be an ongoing thread through our conversation. And the last thing, how do you start making informed decisions when you first company you've ever had? So many of you are operating as sole proprietors. So sole proprietors, the reason it is just not an option if you want to live corporate life, it's not a company. So many of you have gotten like amazingly successful or gotten through by being a sole proprietor, but you're only getting between about 13 and 30 deductions. And if you go to H&R Block, TurboTax, any of these other outlets, they're not going to have enough tax strategy for you. It just doesn't work like that. They don't activate 81,000 pages of code. They're giving you a reaction to how you have behaved, right? So that is what you're getting. You're not getting a future planning tax plan. You're not getting a strategy going forward based on the money you're going to make, based on the investments you're going to make. So this is a done with you process. So a lot of you are coming to us, you're going to do it to me. And it's not going to happen like that, because when it really comes down to whether it's an LLC or a company, a corporation, an S Corp or a C Corp, and we're using US terms, these principles work all over the world. I just always have to give that disclosure. But when you're looking at that company and using a board is very different than the structure of the company. And without the structure of the company, you can't activate the deductions and all of the tax benefits we talk about. So let's explore the management component and section of the LLC. So exploring the LLC management options, I'm just going to read you a couple choices that you have so you have the legal definitions. LLCs provide the most flexibility. Are they the best in every state? Absolutely not. There are states like California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, potentially even Minnesota, a few others, that just having an LLC taxed as a sole prop isn't going to give you any more benefit. Have it taxed as an S, have it taxed as a C, and then you have another comparison. So I'm giving you this. Might sound like a confusing answer, but the truth is it's so custom. To just go to an online portal and go click, click, click and hope you do it right is not how you do it. You've got to get a proper strategist to actually walk you through the right corporate structure. So are you going to be member managed? Right, so members are the ones who actually have the checkbook control. They're the ones that do the work. They're the ones that actually operate that way. So in the structure, all members are the owners, and they actively participate in the day-to-day operations and decision-making process. If it's manager-managed LLCs, then the members are appointed, one or more managers to handle the daily operations, which is beneficial for the members who prefer a more hands-off approach. And then there's a third, which is hybrid structures. Some LLCs combine both elements of allowing for the customized approach of management. So let's just talk about that. That is our typical strategy, which is there's a manager, and a lot of times that entity, that company, actually does nothing but manage a lot of other companies. So you can do that as a resident agent. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do protection of privacy if you just have the manager. But if you do manager and a member, which is, I would say 99% of the strategies we do, it's both. You're having a manager and a member, and then they're held in trust very specifically. So if this is confusing you, I can just tell you the hybrid approach is primarily what we use. Do you need a board to answer the question, that we got here for them is, do you need a board on an LLC? It's absolutely no. Do you need a board if you have an S Corp or a C Corp? No. You actually don't legally need a board. Now, the difference is inside of an S Corp and a C Corp, an actual corporate Inc., INC, an incorporation, you will have a president, a vice president, you have a secretary, you're going to have a treasurer. You could put a board on any of them. And a board typically gives you some strength, meaning there's experience, there's somebody who's putting in capital potentially, there's someone who knows the financial modeling, there's someone who, again, has done a lot of project development. So when you put a board together, you're actually strengthening what it looks like your company is going to provide and the experience that it provides. So I'm offered board seats frequently. I take advisor seats and not director seats. Board of directors is actually a liable position. It's called D&O insurance. It's called directors and officer insurance. So a lot of times you'd want to get some D&O insurance, and unless D&O insurance exists, I would not be on the board of directors. I'd be on a board of advisors. So the difference, big difference. So an advisor is someone who can just give some of their experience. I mean, they're there for a very specific reason. A board of directors is actually liable, number one, for payroll tax. So you don't want to be liable if you are on a board or you're an officer and you're in a position where you don't have control of the financials to actually make sure taxes are paid, bills are paid, and things are paid. The second thing I want to talk about is what are the benefits of a board. If you think about that, again, strategic oversight, potentially accounting and finance. I have people that are on those boards, usually in accounting roles, sometimes lawyers, depending on the project and what we're working on. The other reason that somebody might be on a board is to interact with your investors for investor relations. So lots of reasons why you'd want to have a board. You want to probably dig into it a little bit more, talk to your lawyer, talk to your tax strategist. If you don't have one, come get a call with us. We do integrated wealth, which means it's not just me. It's me and a team of strategic experts. So it's me, it's a variety of tax strategists, which are future planning strategists, corporate structure, corporate compliance, trusts, IRAs, insurance, you name it. We have every one of those financial experts somewhere, or business experts, marketing and sales as well, in the house. So we do a sequence. Where do you need at the right time? A lot of the reason why many people don't become a millionaire is because they're out of sequence. They're doing the right thing, but at the wrong time, or they're doing the wrong thing at the right time. So you got to get this plan together. If you haven't read The Millionaire Maker, in the notes below, I'm going to give you 3 chapters of my Millionaire Maker. Read it to the gap analysis, then call our office and get a one-on-one session. From there, you can come in farther, meet some of our experts, meet me, come to our Ask Loral. And those of you who don't even understand what I'm talking about, living corporate life, please come to our Millionaire Intensive. We do it once a month, every month for years since COVID has happened. We do an all-day event, starts at 10 o'clock Pacific and ends at 6. 3 hours of it is a marketplace where you can actually make money. But the first 2 hours is about corporate life and what you can do and how do you activate a corporation or an LLC. Why would you want a board? How do you do the deductions? And how do you get in the pattern of a millionaire, which is make and invest money? Now, before I go to the last point, I want you to subscribe to our channel. I want you here at least 5 days a week. If not, you want to even binge on the weekend. So for binging 25 hours, which you want you to follow the link below implicitly, by binging 25 hours, you get $750 of credit towards new tuition for you to learn how to live corporate life the way we describe it. Now, last thing I want to talk about is making informed decisions. Now, my partner that does the corporate structures and I, we have 9 points of an LLC operating agreement. So LLCs have operating agreements. Corporations have shareholder agreements. So very different kinds of agreements. And then contractually, we relate them together for a better tax plan. That is a lot of magic that we do that a lot of other companies don't do. So we have a very strategic way of helping you not only make more money, teach you like where you could invest for better depreciation, just give you some options. We don't tell you where to go. Like, we aren't investment advisors, we're educators. And then more importantly, how do you actually take advantage of all 81,000 pages of tax code? So informed decisions is knowing how big the LLC is going to get, how big it should be, what the operating agreement should be. And again, you probably want to lean in a little more and learn about an operating agreement and the points that are vital to you and your ongoing financial success. If you have any questions about this, please go to our playlist, go to our search bar, look up other corporate structures, tax deductions, call our office at any time. We are here to answer your questions and help you. You can also go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, ask a question, make a request. We'll be back tomorrow.